Apple's iPadOS 26 didn't launch with explosive new hardware or flashy marketing campaigns, but what it brought under the hood might just be the most important upgrade for serious iPad users. With a range of refined features, macOS-style multitasking, a reimagined file system, and desktop-class preview tools, this update pushes the iPad even closer to fulfilling its long-promised role, a genuine laptop alternative. Instead of major overhauls, iPadOS 26 delivers meaningful improvements that deeply impact workflows, especially for creators, students, and professionals who use the iPad as more than just a media device. While flashy UI changes grab headlines, it's the subtle, seamless upgrades to multitasking and background functionality that are shaping the future of iPad computing. The windowing system, finally functional. Apple has introduced windowing systems before, but in iPadOS 26, they're finally intuitive and truly useful. Floating windows now act more like they do on macOS. You can resize, layer, and organize them without Apple's older stage manager logic fighting your layout choices. Opened apps persist in the exact size and position you left them, and you're no longer locked into app resizing constraints forced by system automation. And it's not just for media apps. File transfers, downloads, rendering jobs, everything can now happen behind the scenes. Notifications provide real-time updates, and lock screen widgets show active progress bars without dragging you out of your focus zone. Blackmagic Camera and Multitask Viewfinder. Using an iPad as a monitor for content creation isn't new, but the reliability and functionality just improved massively. Blackmagic's camera app now stays running while you overlay other windows, notes, scripts, and editing software. Previously, opening another app killed the camera feed. Now, you can simultaneously view yourself on the screen while reading notes, adjusting your lighting via smart home apps, or prepping graphics. It's game-changing for solo content creators who film and edit in one flow. The Files app, now a true Finder experience. For years, the Files app has teased macOS capabilities but always fell short. Now it's almost indistinguishable from Finder on a Mac. You can pin folders directly to your dock, recent downloads, cloud sync folders, or your iCloud desktop. They're always there, accessible in a single tap, and always up-to-date across devices. Column views are finally adjustable. Want to sort by date, file size, or type? Click and drag. Need to resize columns or switch between grid and fan view? No problem. These aren't gimmicks. They're quality-of-life improvements that make the app actually usable for serious work. Customizations also go deeper. You can now tag, color code, and even use emojis for folders, creating a fast visual navigation system. It might seem playful, but in practice, it makes scanning through large file libraries much quicker. Menu bar and taskbar desktop DNA. One of the more subtle but powerful changes is the new app-specific menu bar. Much like macOS, the top of the screen changes depending on which app is in focus, giving you contextual options for that specific window. Even better, it doubles as a cheat sheet for keyboard shortcuts. Want to learn how to use Final Cut, Affinity Photo, or Notability faster? Just open the menu, and the top commands are listed. Apple has quietly created a dynamic shortcut tutor for pro apps. This little detail accelerates workflow learning curves. You stop fumbling through menus and start working efficiently. It's a move that blends iPadOS with the muscle memory of macOS without breaking either experience. Split view, tile view, and intelligent sizing. Mac users love split view. Now iPad users get that and more. Hold the green window button, and a menu gives you options. Dual split, tri-split, and full screen tiling. Each window can be sized and shifted fluidly, not snapped to presets. You can have up to 12 open windows on one page. Though productivity peaks around 3 to 4, the flexibility is there. Drag two apps near each other, and the system detects a resize bar, allowing custom layout with precision. This is a new level of desktop-class layout design for the iPad. Stage managers, chaotic, overlapping, has been replaced with order. This isn't just a feature, it's a philosophy shift. Apple now trusts users to build their own space, not be confined to guided rails. Preview app, the unsung hero. One of the most underrated features of iPadOS 26 is the new Preview app, pulled almost directly from macOS. For creatives, students, and business professionals, this is a huge win. You can open images, PDFs, and other documents, then annotate, magnify, crop, rotate, or highlight using either Touch or Apple Pencil. It's an effortless markup experience that bridges iPadOS with macOS in both functionality and familiarity. Documents sync through iCloud, so you can start editing on iPad and finish on Mac, or vice versa. The only current limitation is file type exporting. Unlike macOS Preview, iPad's version can't yet convert to multiple formats. But even so, it feels like a full-featured PDF suite without needing third-party apps. Where iPad stands now, MacBook alternative. With every release, the iPad inches closer to becoming a full-fledged computer replacement. But iPadOS 26 brings that vision closer than ever. Before, the iPad was a fantastic companion, but struggled to be the main device for professionals. Now, with improved multitasking, robust file navigation, and a dependable windowing system, it can legitimately replace a laptop for many users, especially students, creators, and remote workers. The difference today is freedom. Background tasks let you keep working without interruption. File handling is no longer clunky. Window management respects your choices. And Preview ties everything together for seamless document control. What's still missing? iPadOS 26 is close, but not perfect. The Preview app lacks export flexibility. The menu bar still feels limited compared to macOS. And while windowing has improved, iPadOS still can't match the complexity of macOS's open-ended multitasking across multiple desktops and full app layering. But that's the trade-off. Portability and simplicity come at a cost. Still, Apple is clearly investing in these features, and iPadOS 27 will likely build on this strong foundation. The key takeaway is that Apple is no longer treating the iPad like a supersized iPhone. It's crafting a hybrid device category that takes the best of the Mac and merges it with the flexibility and responsiveness of iPad. Final thoughts. The quiet power of iPadOS 26. What makes iPadOS 26 so powerful isn't a flashy new design. It's the quiet upgrades that affect your workflow daily. Things like exporting video while reading notes, dragging and resizing Finder-style windows, opening multiple apps and keeping your workspace just how you left it. iPadOS 26 won't make your iPad a Mac, but it gets closer than ever, and it does so without sacrificing the things that make the iPad so appealing: portability, touch interface, pencil integration, and simplicity. If you're on the fence about upgrading or wondering if the iPad can replace your laptop, iPadOS 26 might be the update that finally makes that transition feel natural. It's a focused, refined, and deeply practical OS that puts productivity where it belongs, at the center of the experience.